Okay, so this is a video to talk about my games of the year, the games that I beat for 2018. Not all these games are brand new for this year. Some of them are. Some of them are new to me. But these are the best games that I played for sure. One, two, three, four, five, 7 games. So here we go. First time that I ever beat Super Metroid came in this past year, 2018. I did not beat it with the cartridge, but I beat it on my Super Nintendo Classic, and I liked it a lot to the point where I wanted to play the Game Boy Advance versions. So I ended up putting those Game Boy Advance games, Zero Mission and Metroid Fusion, on my Super Nintendo Classic, and I actually liked. I don't know if there's how many people are like this out there, but I kind of like Zero Mission a little bit better. They both play very similarly. I know that Super Metroid's a little bit more complex, but I think the reason why I like Zero Mission, it was pretty straightforward. I didn't get lost all that much. I didn't have to look up things online to figure out where to go and what to do. This I had to do that with. I know that speedrunners love this game. It definitely deserves the praise that it gets, and it definitely holds up really well still. So Super Metroid, one of the best ones this year. Another one that I was super impressed with was The Evil Within 2. I played this probably right at the beginning of the summertime. Um, and there goes the games that I was piling up. And it's hard to describe why this game is good. It's not an open world game, but it is sort of an open world game. It's not a linear game, but it is sort of a linear game. It tries to do things a little bit differently, and it's more like psychological horror. That's what makes it unique. I'll say one thing that like made me think. Just there was a scene in the game where like they try to escape through like it's hard to describe this game, but like they're in like an alternate reality, and that's where everything plays out. All the horror exists, and there are these guys that go in to try to I guess make sure that the world doesn't crash is kind of what's going on, and they're trying to find ways to get out by themselves. And there was a scenario where a guy thinks he's doing what's right to get out, and he ends up like going further into the like the mainframe, and like he's potentially just going to get lost and just going to die. It's like getting lost in a maze within a maze. And it's just like when I read about, there was like a little scientist report about like don't go into that chamber because their test candidates before like died and got lost. That's exactly like what this one guy that you're helping out did. And it's just like that's just like kind of terrifying when you wrap your mind around like what's going on. It's not a game for younger kids, but it's a good solid third person game, and I played it in like good chunks. Not a game that like I was super. I got to play 5 hours here and 6 hours there, but definitely impressed. It'll be interesting to see if this keeps getting more games or not. I think it's sold fairly well. Mega Man 11 is definitely high up on my list of impressive games. I bought this when it was on sale for 19.99, and I was like kicking myself because at the time I could have got like the Switch versions for around the same price pre-owned. This was a brand new copy. I think it was sealed too, but it's I don't have a lot of experience with Mega Man games, but this was really fun. I could see myself playing through it again, and the music's really good. Everything about it is just really top notch. Yeah, I can't recommend it enough. It's a really solid game. A game that I got from Limited Run that I really liked a lot, and I played this maybe 40% of it years ago, almost like 8 to 10 years ago when it came out on Steam. Um, but playing through it again and then having like a physical version of it, playing it with a controller, was really good. I can't tell you what the story is all about because it's really hard to wrap your mind around what's going on. But it's a very well polished game, sort of like a twin stick action beat 'em up RPG type of game because you do acquire things to like level up your weapons and stuff like that. But Bastion's a good game for sure. Coming down to the last three, Guns, Gore, and Cannoli is a game that is just pure fun. I don't have really. I was hesitant because like when I read about reviews of this game before I went ahead and bought this, I could just like the art style and like the idea of the game. I was like, I should buy this. But then like I read reviews and people were complaining about certain things. It's like that didn't really bother me what people were complaining about. It was like the idea they were worried about not being able to like control the movement of the shooting. Like it's a side-scrolling shooter, kind of like a Metal Slug, Contra type game, but a lot slower paced. It's just like the atmosphere and like the cheesy humor is what really makes this game. And it's just fun. It's kind of hard game too, but I was able to beat it like on easy, I think, and I can't wait till I know that there's a second one. I hope that they make a physical copy for this, but it's just a lot of fun, and this would be one that I would want to replay. Um, there's one scene in this game that I might be spoiling, but there's like a scientist that like is blamed for like causing the zombie outbreak. He's just like a simple scientist, and it's like you could tell the guys who developed this game, like your character just like kills him. This is like, what did the poor scientist do? Why does he have to die? Yeah, it happens in like a cutscene. It's like the scientist was being forced to do these experiments by mobsters, I guess. Anyway, down to the last two. These are probably my two favorite games of this year. A game called Ruiner for the PlayStation 4. I had lots of high hopes in this game, and they definitely uh, followed through with my hopes. It's a really awesome twin stick shooter, really fast paced. The music is phenomenal. As of the last few years, I tend to carry the opinion that like music really makes or breaks a game. If they're trying to convince you of the vibe of the game, music is really important. So the music in this game is kind of like I don't want to say techno, but like upbeat electronica, fast paced. I don't want to say like maybe borderline like house club music, but like more of like a punk Blade Runner style vibe because that's what the environment and the world is trying to go for. It's like a Blade Runner type of world, very similar to like oh man, what's that game coming out that's from whatever the game is that's being made by the guys who made the Witcher series. But anyway, I'm going off side tangent here. Ruiner's really awesome twin stick shooter, very fast paced. Deserves a good amount of praise from me, and I liked it a lot. Last but not least, a surprising game I just played maybe a month ago that I just was taken back by how awesome it was is SteamWorld Dig 2. When I played SteamWorld Dig, the first one, I really wasn't impressed with that, but it's just like, man, they for some reason they just put this together really well, and it just everything clicked, and it tells a really good story, and I just don't know why I can say it's just so good, but it is. I mean, it's a good Metroid style game. You explore a world. There's different zones within the world. You can fast travel within different areas. Your character evolves kind of as the game goes on, and the evolution of your character really Makes things a little bit easier as you go on, and it's like a, a good level of like collecting things to improve and collect resources to cash in to buy things to make things easier, and you're trying to save the original character from the first Steam World dig, and it's a good game. It's really good, and I can't recommend it enough. In fact, I hope that they would consider making a third one because I really thought this was awesome. So if you haven't bought this game, I would tell you definitely get it. No matter what system you get it for, PlayStation 4 or the Switch. But anyway, these are the games that I have beat for 2018, and let me know what you think. Later.